Most businesses' online presence is boring. And by being boring, they're losing out on potential sales and customers. Being interesting and exciting is what draws customers in and gets them to buy from you. But it's hard to be interesting online when you're focused on running your business and taking care of your customers. It doesn't have to be this way. We have the key to unlocking the solution to your problem. Key Heart Marketing can help take your business from boring to brilliant on social media. We can vouch for them. They run our podcast socials. If you want to have a strong social media presence that allows customers to know, like, and trust you, connect with Key Heart Marketing at keyheartmarketing.com.
Rival Digital is a full-service premier digital marketing agency for the home services industry. We offer everything from website design, search engine optimization, online advertising, public relations, and more. If you're interested in learning more about the services we offer for contractors just like yourself, head on over to rivaldigital.com, and we look forward to chatting with you. Hey everyone, this is Eric Thomas with Rival Digital, and I am proud to announce that we are the newest sponsor for the Power Women of the Trades podcast. We've been a big fan and supporter of the show for years, and we are just very excited and very honored for the opportunity to now be one of the podcast sponsors. So make sure you check out their page and subscribe to the podcast and listen in on wherever you get your podcast episodes from.
Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. This show is all about breaking barriers and changing the game. Our guests will feature some of today's most successful female entrepreneurs and other advocates of our industry as well. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, female-led entrepreneurship drives change on multiple levels. We want to empower women in the trade industry like you so you can maximize your potential, stay balanced, achieve long-term success, and claim ownership over your life. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Power Women of the Trades with Cassie and Kaylee. Today we have Karly Hoehn with Rolls Mechanical. Did I say that right?
You did.
I had a panic. I literally I said, the spelling of your last name is not.
You just can't look at it. Do not look at it.
I had it said, and I said it in my head 10 times. I said, then looked down and I was like, that's not right.
No, this is my forever FAQ. I knew it when I was married. But yeah, it's difficult. You cannot look at the spelling and pronounce it at the same time.
Well, what's funny is, side note, I have a teacher. There's a teacher here locally, and her last name is Cohen, and it's spelled the exact same way, but just a K. And so when you said Hoehn, I was like, no, that's not how that's supposed to be.
Does not compute.
So, well, Karly, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Karly Hoehn. I am the Vice President of Rolls Mechanical. We are a mechanical contracting company that's based in Michigan. We service the Midwest, providing HVAC, plumbing, and electrical, and refrigeration trades to commercial, industrial, and residential companies. We have been in business for 31 years. My dad founded our company. I've been here for the last 9 years in the office. I started with us in the field, technically as a warehouse shop hand, and then started doing construction and then service. But I've always kind of been in this area. I'm a huge Michigan fan, and I love our skilled trades. Married in July, so pretty new. Still adopting the last name.
Congratulations.
So the name is new too.
The name is new.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, cool. Congratulations on the wedding too. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So now you've been there for, and you said family business. How is that? I always like to ask, how is that?
I am so blessed. I don't think I realized how blessed I am working with my dad until I started networking with other contractors, and I started to see how it could have went, to be honest. And I'm come back in my dad's office. I'm like, Dad, I love you. You're incredible. You're the best boss. This is so amazing. So I'm very, very blessed. I'm blessed that I get to work with my dad as much as I do and see him as much as I do. My mom does real estate and works out of our office as well. So I get to see her, get to bring my dog up here. And a lot of our team I've known since I was a kid. The company is as old as I am. So a lot of our team, like I said, I grew up with them. They're uncles, brothers, cousins to me. And it's been a total blessing. And I really didn't know how blessed I was until I started chatting about it with people, because it's gone about as good as you could ever hope for.
That's awesome. I need to play this little piece of this for my children that are currently working in the company, and I hope that they feel that way. We have a couple boys that work in our company, and they're young, like under 25, and men that have not gravitated in their gratitude portion of their life. You know what I'm saying? And so, anyways, I mean, I know they're appreciative, but I don't know that they really realize the opportunity that they have, right? And so I hope one day that they do. And then I'm immediately thinking like Haley, our daughter Haley is 10, and she has been here since the beginning. Like, she was in her swing here. And so you kind of like, as soon as you said that, I'm like, I hope that's Haley one day, like she's vice president and thankful for mom and dad of what we've built, maybe she's probably like, someday she's just like, I ain't doing that.
Well, I think there's such a huge opportunity there. Like, you've got people that have the same goals, they're going to put in hopefully the same work ethic. Like, nobody's going to care as much as we do. And then we can we can have really honest conversations with, even if there's differing points of view, like our goals are the exact same. And I think there's so much power there, but I don't know. I love celebrating with my parents. It's cool. And then they understand, the struggles. Like, I'm definitely like a rainbows and daisies type person, but there's some moments where you're like, I now understand why I'm getting gray hair.
Yeah.
And it's cool that I can like kind of just go to my dad and my mom and just be like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
crazy, and my dad's like, oh yeah, no, I've dealt with this. And it's really fantastic. I love it. I don't
That's awesome.
know if we're the best like dinner dates, I would say, because we end up talking about our work a lot because we do genuinely love it so much. I feel like we go to dinner and just end up talking about work and our team and different things like that. But
But that's how you love it. Like, I think I used to be like almost self-conscious about that. Like, am I talking too much about our business? And then now I'm like, I think that proves my passion. Like, it shows how much I really care. And I'm normally sitting at tables with people who feel the same way about something in their life. And so it's just like, it works well, right? And so now I don't feel like I feel that way anymore, because I made sure to surround myself with people with the same drive as me. I think maybe whenever I was like, I would be like, oh, I'm sorry, we're just talking about work or whatever. Most of the time they were like, no, tell me more. I want to know, like, this is cool, so that's really cool. So what size is Rolls?
we have about 200 employees.
Oh, how is that?
It's amazing. I love it. When I started, I was the 25th employee. So it was cool because I'm a heavy like operations process numbers type person. I'm terrible at math. Don't ask me to do math, but like just trending, I suppose. And so I kept track of a lot of stuff back in the day because I was like, oh, you never know. Like when we went from 25 to 30, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And so I kept track of all of these things, just that's what motivates me, I guess. And it's really cool to like look back at that. But we always say like it's growth, but we want to grow, but not just for growth's sake. We've got, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way, but such an incredible team here, and there's such incredible opportunities. And so for us as a business, we want to grow so that we can continue to offer those opportunities for our team. Incredible skilled tradesmen and women to keep growing with us and providing better and better services. We also have a legacy as a company, and we plan to continue that legacy with, not a lot of change in a very unstable environment. I think with a lot of owners who are retiring or owners who are selling, and there's a lot of instability there that's potentially driving down quality. And can be scary for people when this is your livelihood, this is your career. And so it's really exciting for us just to continue to grow and grow in a way that puts people first, that puts quality first, and puts our customers, as one of our top priorities as well. So it's been cool. We joke about it that it's common sense leadership and common sense growth and common sense business, but
I love that. I'm writing it
kind of
down.
separates us, I guess.
I think that's the key though, dude. Like, and I don't know why here recently I started saying dude again. I'm annoying myself. Every time I say it, I'm like, sorry. But common sense is literally so lacking in everyday life that literally that's really all it takes. Like, I think all the time, take it back to the basics, right? Kaylee and I have talked, like some marketing strategies, some things, because people have overcomplicated so many things that I'm like, let's just take it back to the basics. Let's take everything back to the basics, right? And then when you really start like picking at that and just seeing what that is, a lot of the times it's just freaking common sense, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
So Karly, I have a quick question. So as you've grown from the 25 employees, which you were the 25th employees, to the 200 employees, how has your leadership style changed or been able to scale with the growth that's been happening?
I would like, I don't know that I feel like I'm growing as a person. So like there's definitely been an evolution.
Mm-hmm.
I'm huge on asking for help. The company itself, myself, everyone on our team, like we've never been where we are today, both in the work that we're doing, the customers we're servicing, the size that we are. Like this is a completely new business. And so we've always been upfront about that. Like my number one piece of advice when I talk to, kids getting into their careers, that nobody knows what the heck they're doing. Like truly, when everyone's a beginner somewhere, you come across new things every single day and you're just trying to figure out what dots are out there to connect so you can make an educated decision. And I feel like we communicate a lot about what we're working on, where we're headed, where we'd like to head, and get people's feedback like all of the time, because I can't see everything that's happening. So I want to kind of have a really good communication loop there so that we can work on things. Like what are the biggest, holes in our ship and how can we fix them? And it might be different. The technicians might have a different issue than I do. And I want to make sure that I'm solving those. So I've always been, I feel like, really open to communication, to constructive criticism for improving. Our goal is always to just do better than what we did yesterday. And I feel like that's been great. And even as we've grown, we've been able to like maintain that mentality. I also feel like you just keep it real. Like we make mistakes. This week we goofed up someone's on call, and it was one of those ones where I'm like, oh, I can't believe this is like such a grade school mistake. And we actually had made the mistake again like 3 weeks ago, and I had told HR like how we were going to fix it and this will never happen again. And this person kind of got caught in this like in between loop or in between like time frames. So we goofed up again. Like, so he calls me like, oh, we completely messed that up. I'm like, I completely agree with you. Like, I would be frustrated about this too. Like, this shouldn't have happened. And just owning up, I think everyone's going to make mistakes, but let's actually talk about them as a team and do lessons learned so that we don't continue to make the same mistake. Like the tech who makes the mistake on, job 105, if we don't actually talk about it and in a constructive way and learn from each other, you could make that job 90 more times today alone. And, who's the dummy there? And so
and that translates into people with processes too. Like you're saying, like if you are going to fix that in the field so that tech doesn't do that 10 more times, but most often the mistakes that you're making in the office aren't getting fixed to the same or getting the same criticism as all of those field things. And so then you just keep screwing up. Right. But if you own it, like you said, and just be like, I'm so freaking sorry. Like we screwed that up and this is how we're going to fix it right now.
Yep.
That's putting and then making a better process. That's putting, showing your team that you're going to do what you say. You're a human too. And listen, I can't even imagine an on-call schedule with 200 people or however many you got on there. Like our on-call schedule right now needs a revamp, and I don't even have anything to do with it. And when I see it, I'm like, oh, that hurts. It's painful. So those things are
like some of the balls like get dropped almost when I try to hand something off where I'm like, at 25, I could be the parent to a lot of our different processes. And now it's like, all right, it's helped us in a lot of different ways where I'll set something up and then go, okay, now this is, your job, your responsibility. This is how this works. If you notice anything, you got questions, blah, 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 let me know. And we can kind of keep moving forward. So it's worked great for us. That was one where just I had passed off the process and some of the admin and we goofed up and, again, own it. Like the reason why we have some of these processes is because we goofed it up enough in the past to learn from it and make this new process. So the system that we designed 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever it was, it might not be the right one for today. So let's all talk about it and try to be constructive, fix it, make a decision. We're all going to agree, move forward and give it our best. But if it doesn't work, you have to pivot. Like, again, nobody knows what the heck they're doing. Today is a new day for every single one of us. We're dealing with new challenges, new opportunities, new people, all of the things. So if you just take that perspective with it where everyone wants to learn, and I genuinely believe everybody wants to give their best work, but you got to be willing to change and pivot and change before you have to.
And that's where the growth comes from too. You're willing to grow and learn.
Yeah, and that ties back into another question we had was, what does culture mean to you? Like how, obviously the things that you're doing are tying into your culture and your team. And so what does culture mean to you? And what are you doing regularly to keep the buy-in of your team? Because we are in a world right now, I think it's gotten better in the past few years, but where people aren't jumping as often as they used to. Especially, in the 2020, 21, everyone was leaving for 50 cents or something, right? I think people are trying to stick around, but it's still an ever-changing world, right? So how do you focus on your culture? And
there's a lot there. I always, when I talk about it with people who are looking to make some changes, I always say like, the best way to eat an elephant one bite at a time. So pick something and implement. I'm a huge advocate. You go to these trainings and you hear things and you're like, oh my God, this all sounds amazing. I have like 13 new ideas. And then you get back, life's busy, work's crazy, and you never implement anything. So whenever we pick something, we do it. And then how scalable or, labor intensive might it be? So some of the stuff that I personally started way back in the day, like sharing everybody's birthdays, anniversaries, sending anniversary cards, all of that at 25, no problem, easy peasy. At 200, it's become more of a full-time, semi-full-time job. So I definitely encourage everybody, like if you're going to do something, do it extremely well and then make sure that it's a scalable process because people start to count on it. They get excited about it. At one point I goofed up. We had a swap of people helping me and I forgot one guy's anniversary post and his manager came to me and was like, oh my God, do you have a problem with him or what's going on? And I'm like, what are you talking about? You forgot so-and-so's anniversary post and he thinks you're mad at him or he's going to get fired. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know we forgot it. I'm like, gosh, that's terrible. And so I called him right away and I'm like, I am so sorry. I apologize. And, I'm like, I'll get this fixed. And now we make sure that we never do that. But I would say for the past decade, we have sat down regularly with all of our managers. And we go, how do we make this the best place to work? What would you want? What would you like to see? How would you like to be communicated with? And then we just implement those things and kind of give it our best effort and communicate and have blind faith. We use a couple like group communication chats and the one I always joke, I think for the first 5 years, I was the only person talking to myself in this chat of, 60 people, no one responding, just me. Now we've got a blossoming culture in there where if I'm away and don't look at it for a little bit, we could have, 50 messages in there of people communicating and having fun and sharing pictures of, them outside with their kid out deer hunting and stuff like that. So that's been a really great kind of not necessarily a triumph, but like blind faith for years to finally get it there. And now people are bought in and participating. So I love seeing that. We also really, really try to like listen to our team that's here. And then anyone who's interviewing with us, like there's a reason why you're looking at us, like what's working, what's not working, work smarter, not harder. So we do our annual reviews and we take all the feedback. Everyone on our team has to do a self-assessment. And in that self-assessment is what can the company do better for you? And what would you like to do in the next year? And we record all of that and start working on it. Like it's a great method of doing it, but there's nothing worse than if you get all that information and then don't do anything with it. Like that's horrible if you ghost your employees when they actually tell you about things like that. So
Right.
that's been a big overhaul for us, and taking all of those items. And then as we are fixing things or addressing things, talking about it at large with our team, like, hey, this was our number one requested training, and we hosted it then, or this was a bug that you guys mentioned in our CRM. This is how we fixed it, and kind of remind everyone of the things that we are working on for them and with them. As people, we just are, you kind of keep moving forward and you don't recognize the little milestones. So I think that that's been really helpful to keep everyone aware of, what managers or admin team is working on for our team at large. So I think that's all been great.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that that's a piece there. So like in reminding them what you're working on for them. One thing specifically is that I can talk about with us is we have dash cameras and we use audio recording for the service calls. And at first, I think people just thought like we were spying on them, and I'm like, our dash cameras don't record the audio in the truck. We have that intentionally turned off because I don't want to hear it. But I'm not recording. I'm not listening. It's only recording incidents. Right. But when I explained it, we had someone get in a wreck. And then when I explained it to our team of like, that dash cam saved a lot of things for him and for the company. How many times have we been in a customer's home and you were like, that customer's a little crazy. And now we have the audio recording. What if they accused you of something? And so when they started realizing that all of those pieces of those things that we're using wasn't against them, it was actually to protect them. Now they're like, thank you so much for doing that for us. I really didn't understand it that way, And that changed the whole perspective on that. And so I loved when you were saying, like going back and showing them like, we're fixing this for you, or we're doing this for you, or we heard that from you, and making sure that they understand why that decision was made. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
and we use Microsoft Teams, and our all company chat is like our company Facebook. So I love that.
Well, I'm sure you guys can relate. A lot of the fixes, they take time. And so when the person initially lodged the comment, it could be months, if not years later. I've been categorizing and keeping track of all of our like CRM issues for years, literally years. And then as I was interviewing different software companies, I had a doc of questions of like, how does this work? How does this work? And then when we were actually ready to roll out a new product and migrate, we could speak to our technicians very specifically about all of their major pain points and how this new CRM was going to solve it. Same thing with my dispatch team and my accounting team and my billing team. These are the actual solutions this is bringing to your position and how it's going to benefit you specifically. So I think that was really helpful. And I think you can do that, not just with like CRM migrations or interviews, but every improvement that you're looking at within your organization. But if you kind of keep everybody posted on, the project list and where they stand, and I haven't forgotten about this one, it's just taking time and different things like that. It really helps people understand, where they're at and they're not forgotten.
This has been Power Women of the Trades. Like what you hear so far? Leave us a review at Apple. And make sure to listen to our other episodes wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.